Hey folks, Quilly here, and welcome to another episode of our Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity. It's a new day over here, but my voice is still a little bit rough, so again, I'm going to continue to let the game mostly describe itself whenever possible. But there we go, when we last left things off, I think we were about to walk into the Gilded Vale and see what's going on there. So let's go ahead and see what the town offers us. We don't have a huge amount of health left, and we're all alone in the woods. And there's definitely some things that we would like to clear a little bit better. So let's go on over to the Gilded Vale. Take 8 hours to get there. We might be tired by the time we arrive, but hopefully there'll be a nice inn. We're going to cross our fingers. Again, I've played a little bit of this, so I know a little bit what to expect in the Gilded Vale, but not everything. We're definitely running into the point where I don't have a lot of experience yet, so there's going to be some more unknowns, and we're going to discover those things together. All right.
Yes, of course.
Walk into town, and I know there's going to be some cutscene and dialogue here.
You must be one of the new settlers. Welcome to Gilded Vale. You'll be pleased to know that we've had some recent vacancies here.
Are you mad? Yeah, they've got a tree full of people hung up. This might not be an inappropriate response, honestly. I might reconsider your lord's offer. You know what? We're going to go with this one. Are you nuts? The only answer you hear is the buzzing of flies from the tree.
Of course, we'll need to make some inquiries first. The inestimable Lord Radric VII has taken great pains to insulate our town from Widewind's legacy. Have you ever sired a Hollowborn child?
Is there any reason we would know what a Hollowborn child is at this point? I don't think we've got any dialogue that has pointed in that direction. We know there's something a little bit weird going on with maybe babies based on our conversation with Calissa earlier, if I recall correctly. So what are you talking about?
An infant born without a soul, of course. Lord Radric has made it his first priority to eliminate this scourge from our village.
All right.
I should warn you, stranger. Here in Gilded Vale, we have a special place for dissidents, charlatans, and those who would hide a curse in our midst.
It feels like this is probably the same sort of response I got maybe wherever I came from, this whole bear shifting thing, right? We are sort of running from our previous home because I think people responded poorly maybe to our powers and accused us of something. You know, maybe someone else got mauled by a bear and they figured it was me or some damn thing like that.
His lordship's wife is with child and due any day now. Without his approval, I shan't be able to find you a permanent settlement. It will have to wait until after the birth. We can continue our interview then, after the bell tolls from Radric's hold to signal my lord's new heir. In the meantime, you can find temporary accommodations at the inn just southwest of here.
All right, the inn sounds fine. So the question is, do we go and admit to any of the bad things that have happened, you know? Strange ceremony near the ruins, the Beowick. Actually, getting more information about the Hollowborn and Widewind's legacy sounds like a pretty good idea right this second. I forget that you foreigners do not have this curse in your homelands. The Hollowborn have been a scourge upon the Direwood for almost 15 years now. Children born without souls. Pitiful, dumb things that breathe, barely, but do not truly live. Some say that the Hollowborn are a disease. Some say they are punishment from the gods. In truth, no one knows, but they began spreading after the Saints' War, and so the name Widewind's legacy stuck in honor of that foul, blasphemous pretender. I see. Lord Radric's decrees may seem strict at times, but he has our best interests at heart. If you have any other questions, don't hesitate to ask. It's important that everyone in Gilded Vale understand our rules. Alright, let's go ahead and admit that we're feeling a bit strange.
Whatever your problem, it sounds like a matter for an animancer. However, the only animancer in Gilded Vale isn't in any condition to speak. Consider yourself fortunate. After she failed Lord Radric, we saw to it that she wouldn't profit from the misplaced trust of others. A bad cure is often worse than none at all.
Right. Well, thanks for killing the only person who could probably help us.
But if you're set on finding a bottle of troll piss or a dead Audra pebble to rub on your forehead, you're welcome to check her pockets. A little corpse stink is nothing when you're digging for shit. My advice, however, is to be satisfied that you escaped and leave it at that.
All right, I'm going to not talk... Well, you know, it's not admitting that we were near some ruins. I'm not admitting that I was in a ruin. Maybe it's fine. You want to mine where you mentioned that. Trespassing on the ruins is illegal, not to mention dangerous. You probably saw someone attempting some new ritual to appease the gods. People will try anything these days. Bareth, have mercy. We certainly have. All right, well, maybe so. Goodbye.
Keep out of...
The bell is tolling.
Listen.
2 tolls. Let that be the last.
3. Gods have mercy.
It seems your arrival is ill-timed.
It seems so.
3 bells toll only for the death of a Radric. I fear Lord Radric's heir is lost, or else Hollowborn, and so lost all the same. You should tread carefully. Circumstances have changed a great deal.
What do you mean? Come to us at a time of mourning. The legacy has struck the heart of Gilded Vale. Our efforts to redeem ourselves in the eyes of Bareth must be redoubled. Sets a steady gaze on you. Don't threaten me, little man. There's no threat, only a warning. Lord Roderick will tolerate no threats to his kin or those who live upon his lands. Grief will not make him more docile. Alright, does this affect the Lord's offer to new settlers? Not that I'm really thinking about staying here at this point. I can be sure of nothing right now. I advise you to get some rest. The inn, or stable for all I care. Find me afterwards. I will know more soon enough. Alright, Urgot, we're going to go and find you a little bit later. I'm just going to take off for now. Now, I'm not sure if I toggle tab over here. It doesn't look like there's any corpse in here that I can actually interact with. So wherever the animancer is and that comment about picking the pockets, I don't think that's the sort of thing that can happen. We'll come down here and check this tree. Oh, there's someone I can potentially talk to over here. Someone named. Scattered between the roots are bracelets of twine and bead, wilting flowers, and notes half erased by the rains. Alright. Still, I don't see anything I can loot. There's some lootables over here. Let's talk to Ader over here.
Are you looking for someone in that tree? I could introduce you.
Looking for anyone who can help me feel better. Ooh, my condolences. That's it? Alright, well, that's not terribly helpful. Maybe you come up later on for something else. Let's go and grab those shrooms. Blood moss. Alright. Villagers over here. Beneath the vines are crude carvings of a sun rising over 3 stars. Now, we should be able to go to the village map at this point and see what the landmarks are. So that's where we came from, north. We've got Offra's house over here. We've got the inn, someone named Aloth over here. The road west, the road south, road east. The Blackhammer Smithery, that might be pretty useful here. Ingroed's house. Ingroed's house, alright. And a windmill. Plus there's some other houses up here which don't have waypoint markers, but might be visitable. Let's pop out of this little spit here. Where do we want to prioritize going first? I mean, we might want to start with the inn. We're a little bit hurt. We could use a rest. I also know that it's possible to recruit people at inns. So maybe that makes a little bit of sense. We'll try to pad out our party a bit, see if there's adventurers looking for a job, for example. So let's start in this direction. Villagers, villagers. Ooh, angry townsmen. See 4 people gathered by the door to the inn. Their raised voices and chopping gestures suggest an argument reaching its climax. The first figure raises his hands for calm. His face is partially obscured by a hood, but his height and stature suggest an elf.
I meant no offense. Let's put this matter to rest over a round, shall we? My treat.
Hoping to soothe our pride with a few Adira coppers, eh? We don't need your coin.
Ooh, a fight. Let's go with, what's going on? One of the other men points at the hooded elf. His eyes are red from drink, but his gaze is focused. Mocking us, even when while he shelters in our village. Just goes to show you what these fancy Adair manners are worth. We don't take to that kind of treatment, not from foreigners, and especially not from Edirans.
Go on. Say it again. I'm itching for an excuse.
Fie, you're itching for the kindling touch of your sister, you cocksfeather!
Where did the Scottish accent come from suddenly? There's something weird going on with this character.
I'll cut that barrel-licking tongue out of your head.
This is a misunderstanding. I didn't say whatever it is you think I said. We've nigh quarrel.
Alright, so I think this person is slightly crazy. Horror and shock paint themselves across the elven man's... whatever it is. Is he aware, even of the stuff that he's saying? Or that he's got a dual personality going on?
That's where you're wrong.
So how do we resolve these sorts of situations? Certainly, I don't want these people, you know, butchering this person who seems to only be guilty of maybe being a little bit crazy, a bit touched in the head. Other than that, you know, murder and all that's not a good idea. What's our personality? This, drinking, maybe. I mean, that's very reasonable. But I think, you know, I'm a little tougher, a little gruffer. Again, not cruel, but, you know, passionate and maybe aggressive from time to time. You're not going to take this one, staying out of this one. No, back down, all of you. This is absurd. I don't have time or patience for this kind of nonsense. No one gives us orders, foreigner. It sounds suspiciously like you're defending him. Well, I guess I might be. All right. Now, if we're going to engage in a little bit of roleplay, I may not actually want to drop to bear form right away. Spells might be okay, but and bear form is certainly good. It's one of our most powerful tools. But let's pretend we're going to roleplay a bit. Aloth over here is flagged as friendly, so if we use something with faux AoE, like this dancing bolts, we can pretty safely just drop it on this entire area and not hurt each other. Now, I could also use something that doesn't have friend and foe recognition that might do more damage or might be a little bit tighter in. Actually, the Talon's foe. Talon's reach is more damage, but it's a lot tighter. Let's go ahead and wait till the battle is engaged and then see if we can use just the other one once we know where they are. I think I'm probably going to have to move up because, yeah, some of them are coming for me. Oh, we're already engaged here. I don't think we're going to be able to cluster everyone up enough for the Talons. No, can. Thanks to our high intellect. Oh, is he out of combat already? Hang on, maybe we can just get away without using a spell at all. Oh my god, he got gibbed. Okay. That's a little bit more than I was hoping for. I was hoping we could just knock them unconscious or something, but hey, we didn't have to use a spell. As the last of the attackers fall, the elf turns to you, the tension almost gone from his smooth face.
Not quite how I hoped to get to know the neighbors. Thank you for your timely assistance with that awkward situation.
Now, I don't know what kind of tone this is going to be set with. Is this like semi-sarcastically? What, you mean for slaughtering them? You're welcome. Or is it, haha, you mean for slaughtering them? You're welcome. Without knowing the tone. It's almost like this is a good situation where having that little, the disposition marker on the side might be useful. I definitely wouldn't say that was fun. Glad I could help. I don't know, maybe just the terse, you're welcome.
Courtesy is a rare pleasure in these parts. Though your accent suggests that you are no more local than I.
That is very true. Straightens his hood and you note the remains of fraying embroidery on his gloves. His boots are caked with the dirt of many months' travel, but the leatherwork beneath it is sturdy and fine.
I suppose introductions are in order after that little fiasco. Aloth Corvusser, at your service.
How'd you manage to get stuck out here? Long story.
I'm a wizard by training, and an adventurer by necessity. I was born in the Seathwood, part of the mainland of the Adir Empire, and both of my parents served the nobility, which afforded me an education for which I am grateful. However, there were no open positions in those houses, and so I decided to seek new means in a new land. And how exactly did you come to be here?
Alright, guess that's the option we go with.
Inquiring ruins? Oh, those can be dangerous places during the best of times, which these are not. I mean, half the locals would arrest you for trespassing and the rest would kill you outright. I'm curious, what exactly did you find there?
Well, since he's clearly a wizard, I mean, he's using a grimoire and was using a wand. I don't know if he actually cast a spell in this battle, but, you know, he's clearly a wizard. And he's an outsider, so he might be a little bit less suspicious and freaked out about things. I'm going to go ahead and admit that I saw a strange machine. Apparently assessing your earnestness.
You do manage to find yourself in rather interesting predicaments.
Indeed. But hey, how did you cross those 3 drunks?
I'm afraid that was a matter of misunderstandings and mistranslations. It doesn't help that people in these parts remember their war with Adir like it was yesterday.
Well, you did tell that one man to go fuck his sister. Ah, that. As I tried to tell them, they misheard me. Happens all too easily after a few pints, and the accent doesn't help. I see. I'm not going to challenge him too much. What are you doing in the Vale?
Excellent question. I came looking for fresh air and cheap land. Instead, the Magistrate gave me directions to the inn and a story about the local lord's expectant wife. But I take it that's a familiar tale.
Indeed. And you? You know, again, I'm gonna be open with this guy. I can take him if he causes any trouble. And right now, I need anyone in town that I can trust and get an ally with.
Indeed. The local lord has searched far and wide for similar specialists. He has rid himself of them almost as desperately.
I should get going. I don't think I'm gonna... Well, what the hell.
Begging your pardon, but neither do you. Yet, circumstances can find a person in the strangest of places.
Alright, I should go.
As should I, given recent events. It's just as well. I've had enough of the watered wine and lumpy beds at the inn. They say even the owner tired of the place. Just up and left one day. It explains quite a lot about the upkeep. Perhaps I could join you. I could use a change of scenery, and I find it's better to travel in numbers.
Well, I do know that I need a bit of muscle. At the very least, I've got to maybe go and take out a bear, who apparently is guarding a corpse and some treasure. Plus, there's a few more things. Yeah, you know what? Let's go.
Excellent. I shall follow you.
I'm a bit of a loner, but, you know, I could use a bit of help.
Yes.
Angry townsman. Let's just go ahead and put all this in our stash. Let's take a look at Aloth over here. So he is a wizard, level 2. Just like me. I guess because I'd already leveled to level 2, he started at level 2. He's got a little bit of might, which is not very much, so he's actually not great at hitting with damaging spells, necessarily. Decent intellect. He's also got very high perception, which actually is not going to be that bad, because his spells, while they might do slightly less damage than a high might be able to, you know, distract people a little bit more. You can use him for more of his support stuff as well. He's got distant advantage. He gets a bonus to accuracy, reflection, and reflexes against distant enemies, which should be most of the time for him, so that's pretty good. What is he currently equipped with, though? He is using a scepter, which is a ranged weapon. It's basically like a magical bow, in a sense. And what's cool about scepters and wands and stuff, and rods, apparently, they have like 2 different damage types, crushing and slashing. And it will automatically use whatever is best against an opponent, which is kind of a cool trait. Alright, he's got a grimoire with some spells. There we go. So in it, he's got minor missiles, dazzling lights, which is it drops their will and causes them to become dazed, which reduces their accuracy and dexterity and perception. It's kind of like a lightweight blind, actually. So that might be kind of helpful. It's also a faux AoE, which is nice. The minor missiles, I know for a fact, are really quite cool. Decent range. They hit pretty regularly. They do decent damage, and you get 3 of them. So it says 11 to 19 here, but it actually does 3 times that much because each one hits separately. The Sunless Grasp, which does, I think it's a single target, and it does freeze damage, but it also sort of locks them down. Yeah, they get an accuracy penalty, which is nice. I think they can still move, but other than that. And Fan of Flames is a cone attack. Really good burn damage. Note it's not faux AoE. Also note that he knows the Wizard Double spell, which we could swap into his Grimoire in exchange for one of these spells. Wizard's Double, we know we can make a potion, actually, of it. Gives you plus 20 deflection, which is a fair bit, but it only lasts until you've taken damage one time, so, you know, sort of breaks the double at that point. I'm not convinced that it's a hugely potent spell, especially since it doesn't even soak the damage from that first attack, so I'll probably leave it off. Anyway, let's go into the inn.
Yes.
If I'm gonna... Ooh, we can check these windows.
As you wish.
If we're gonna do any adventuring as a group, I think we still need a frontline fighter type. Windows are clouded with the haze of accumulated smoke and cooking grease. The Black Hound Inn. Oops, there's a plant out here to loot. Let's do that. Pilgrim's Crown, excellent. And I think with that, we'll go into the inn. We did rescue that cook who's supposed to be from here, so hopefully he will reward us or something. Let's ignore the bodies that are out there. We're not gonna... We should really, like, drag them into the bushes or something. But hey, they started it. I'm going to go ahead and put a cut in this video, and the next one, we're going to go ahead and explore the Black Hound Inn, and see exactly what sort of adventure awaits us in there. See you next time, folks. Bye-bye.